go, just leaving the dock in Bio Chico, motoring on out. And now out in the bay and coming around Sand Island, after about 4 hours, I see a boat ahead making the same turn into the anchorage at Fort McRae, and it looks familiar. That's my grandnephew Sammy's boat. And now he's following me into the anchorage. Another guy is heading into the anchorage from the Florida 120. It looks like the dolphins are coming into the anchorage too. And here comes my nephew Bill on his boat. And they're all meeting up there in the anchorage. Hey guys, how you doing? And of course there's a picture of Osprey. And on shore are all the boats in the Florida 120, all lined up on the beach there. And there's Osprey as Bill motors me away from Osprey to his boat, where we watch the sun go down, have dinner and a beer, and just basically hang around. And of course, sunsets are spectacular. Then Sam and his girlfriend came over to join us on Bill's boat, hang around in the cockpit, while I, of course, was texting my wife, Susan. And then, of course, the anchor lights are on, went back to Osprey, sat in the cockpit looking at the moon for a long time, then went to sleep. It was a very fitful night. The winds were very strong all night long. The halyards noisily slapping against the mast, flags flapping and vibrating through the entire boat. Went out on deck about 4 or 5 times to try and quiet the halyards, and worried about dragging anchor. But waking up to a gorgeous sunrise, it was worth it. Scanning the beach, all the boats, everybody else kind of waking up to figure out what kind of day we're going to have. Winds are supposed to be from the west-southwest, so it's going to be a downwind run to the next stop, which is about 21 miles further on, Spectre Island. Well, there's a dog on the beach, and everybody else is just kind of making coffee and hanging out and talking to each other and just trying to figure out where they're going to go to the bathroom, because there are no trees, and a lot of these boats have no facilities whatsoever. Maybe a bucket if they're lucky. And as you can see, the flags are flapping on some of the boats there. Yeah, it was a pretty good breeze all night long. And we figured it was going to be a good breeze to go to the next stop. And speaking of the next stop, looks like a few boats are starting to leave already. And so are we. The blue striped jib ahead, that's Sam's boat as we're racing along behind Sand Island. And the tide's running pretty fast, so it looks like we have rapids to go through. And I'm catching up to Sammy. There's his boat, and he's noticing we're catching up. The McGregor is behind us, and so is Sam. And Osprey is doing pretty good through this stretch here, because it's basically downwind, and I have a big jib. As you can see, the water was a little bit choppy going through the pass there, heading out toward Pensacola Pass and Santa Rosa Sound. Oh, Bill's boat. There is his boat, and he's going to accompany us as long as he can. But unfortunately, the bridge from Gulf Breeze to Pensacola Beach is 50 feet. His mast is a lot taller than that, so he can't continue any further. Osprey is just sailing along, nice flat water, going with the wind, hoping the clouds clear. Sammy is kind of tagging along, and in fact, he's starting to pass me. And there's Bill's boat again. He's basically saying goodbye because he had to turn around to head home. Here's Osprey under sail. You can see the Coast Guard base behind.
Have a great trip!
Sammy's boat. And we're going under the Bob Sykes Bridge from Gulf Breeze to Pensacola Beach, and putting that behind us as we head downwind. And now we're here at the first anchorage, which is Big Sabine, behind Pensacola Beach area. Actually, it's the National Seashore, and the boats are all coming in. And as you can see, it's a good view of how small some of these boats are. Some of them are like 8 or 10 feet long, open boats. Some have a tiny cabin, and most of them are small enough to beach. Osprey, unfortunately, I need 4 foot of water, so I have to anchor off and watch everybody else come in. There goes the McGregor, heading toward the beach. And there's Osprey. Here's my view, sitting in the cockpit and looking over toward the beach and seeing all the people who arrived already and setting up umbrellas. Some set up tents on shore. And basically, there's room for more, which of course will be coming along pretty soon. Still a pretty good breeze is blowing. A lot of these boats, they pull up on shore, and some of them forget the tide is going to be dropping, so it's a little harder for them to get off. Here's Sam's boat as I was rowing over in my dinghy. And it looks like he's about to fend off pirates the way he looks, glaring down at the water. There's Osprey in the background there. And more boats coming in as the sun gets lower in the sky. Sam in his dinghy did a pass around Osprey while I was sitting on Osprey, taking pictures of them as they did their pass around Osprey. Got some really nice video shots of it. And there it is. Wind scoop is up, it's nice and cool, and Sam and his girlfriend are heading back to their boat. And the sun is getting lower in the sky. Still, more boats are coming in. Like this one. And you can see the whole row of boats along the beach now, with Osprey way in the background and Sam's boat way in the background too. And now it's starting to get a little darker. People are starting to get ready for the evening, hoping that they are bug-free, because this is Florida, you know. Anchor light's already on one of the boats as we head toward the setting sun. Sam's got his anchor light on too. And even though it was cloudy most of the day, the clouds did break to give us a really nice sunset. And as the sun gets lower in the sky, we bid you good night. Next stop is going to be Spectre Island, another 21 miles further east. So day 3, I had a nice night, woke up and did a little tour of the boats along the beach there as they're getting ready to go. Some are trying to leave real early, others are just hanging around a while because it's going to be another day of the winds from the west-southwest, about 15 knots, basically another broad reach there as the sun is coming up over the horizon and over the clouds. And of course, I have my morning breakfast and my coffee. And there goes one boat already, heading out into the sunrise, getting further away. And then there goes Sam and his boat, passing me. He's heading out. And as you can see, he's getting further away, heading toward the rising sun. Maybe I better do the same thing. So I'm sailing toward the east. Beautiful downwind run. Gorgeous day. Lots of sunshine. Easy sail. There's Sam's boat. Oh, he changed his jib, it looks like. And the dolphins joined me. Hello there, dolphin. And the miles just slipped on by. Well, there's Sam's boat, and I'm sailing parallel to him, but I was curious what was going on. Because it looks like somebody's standing on the cabin top. I couldn't tell if it was Sam or his girlfriend. Oh, somebody jumped in the water. Okay, what's happening? She's hanging on to the line that connects the dinghy to the boat. I see the stern ladder is out. She jumped in on purpose, I guess, to cool off. And what's Sam doing? Climbing up on the bow? I'm not sure, but it looks like he's gone. Yes, he is. Oh, so now they're both in the water. It's a good thing the boat has autopilot. And it turns out, yes, they have about 100 feet of line astern for them to grab onto. Just in case they miss the other lines they can grab onto earlier. And what they do is they end up pulling themselves in, get back in the cockpit, and cool off. And, well, speedboat just passed by, but I'm hearing the roaring sound of a jet, and all of a sudden, whoosh! A missile was fired from Eglin Air Force Base there. And I don't know if you can see way up in the upper left-hand corner, there's the plane. I guess they're doing target practice. Thankfully, it's not live ammunition. Now we arrived at Spectre Island. I dropped the hook and watched other boats start to come in. One by one, starting to line the beach there. And I have company coming over. Sam and his girlfriend are coming over for dinner, and we cooked some burgers and had some fun. And then, of course, they got in their dinghy to go over to their boat. Yeah, some of the boats are still coming in, even late in the afternoon near sunset. And boats are going here, boats are going there. Some are dropping the hook, others dragging up their bows onto the beach. And it was a motley collection of small boats and even smaller boats. And then Osprey. That was the biggest boat there, at 29 feet overall. And of course there's sunset. It's just another spectacular evening. Sunrise. Well, it looks like it's going to be a difficult day to go back because this time the wind is on our nose and the next destination is 43 miles upwind. So a lot of these boats left real early because they knew they'd have to sail all the way. Some boats didn't even have an engine. So they have to tack back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to get to the next destination, which was Dead Man's Island off Gulf Breeze. Oh, Sammy's leaving now. You can see his boat in the distance there. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, maybe I should leave. Maybe I'll wait another day. I'm not sure. But as the last boats are pulling out, I think, well, okay, I'll see how far I can go. Because motoring for 43 miles is not a lot of fun for a sailor. And some of these boats, they're just about gone now from Spectre Island. Well, I'm still there thinking about go or no go. So I decide to go. We're heading right into the wind. I'm motor sailing basically with the mainsail up, and at times I had the jib out. This guy's tacking back and forth. These guys tacking back and forth, zigzagging all the way. And I really take my hat off to them because that's hard sailing. There's another one of the participants in the Florida 120, and there's Sam's boat. I'm catching up and passing him. And I decide I'm going to stop right back where we were a couple of nights ago at Big Sabine. And it looks like a couple of other guys decided to do the same thing because it was just hard heading into the wind. There's the dinghy, Osprey offshore, and the two boats who decided to make the same decision and stay at Big Sabine for one night. And it's a good chance to take a look at the boats real closely and see how big they are. And of course, there's Osprey offshore. You know, when you think about these guys having to sail all that distance in little boats with no motors, a lot of them did have motors but didn't have a lot of gas. And of course, the pleasure of another sunset. One of my favorite things to do is sit in the cockpit for sunset until it gets dark. And I usually get up before sunup to watch the day come alive. Speaking of the day come alive, here's day 5. Sunrise, flat water, hardly any wind. Slight breeze was just starting to build, and the guys on shore were deciding to head on out. And the sun was just starting to warm up the day. The breeze was just starting to build. The bugs, as you can see, are flying around. But it was still very, very peaceful. The view from Osprey. As I swing the camera toward shore to see what the guys are doing, luckily both of these little boats do have a small motor, small outboard. Sun's getting a little higher, and oh, the tide drops, so you got to really push the boat off the beach. Now the guys are finally leaving. And those are the last 2 boats from the Florida 120 I saw until I got home. But of course, going home means starting up the engine, pulling up the anchor, and motoring out, and heading home. And dolphins?
Oh, geez, right ahead.
It's hard to photograph dolphins because they usually pop up when you're not ready.
Here, dolphin, dolphin, dolphin.
Oh, there's everything behind me, of course. There they go. Bye, dolphins.
Now we're going under the bridge, the Bob Sykes Bridge, from Gulf Breeze to Pensacola Beach, heading into basically the home waters, which of course are busy waters around the Pensacola area, filled with all kinds of craft. And there's downtown Pensacola in the distance, heading home in the final stretch. It's almost time to drop the sails and motor on in. And now I drop the sails and I'm motoring. Gives you a little view of Osprey under motor power. Now we're heading into the channel at Bahio Chico, passing the Yacht Club, going under the Barrancas Bridge. The local flying waterfowl are all getting dinner, it looks like. As I'm approaching my dock, pulling in, and there we be. The 2025 Florida 120 was a great adventure. Can't wait to do it next year.